press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello my dear students, in the previous class you will learn about the different types of methods. For example, hand picking method, sedimentation method, evaporation method, filtration and sieving, threshing, etc. These are the different types of methods which are applicable to particular particles of a mixture. See, for example, hand picking method is used which is having the different types of waste product in it, nothing but the non-useful components which are present in the mixture. See, like that winnowing is there and the threshing is also there. See, in threshing stock will be beaten harder by removing the components, waste components which can be removed and the food items, that one is a useful component we can separate out from the stock. See, and the winnowing here in the winnowing process, the blowing of air or the wind is must required. See, otherwise the winnowing process is not completed. See, like that the winnowing process will help us to separate out the useful components from the non-useful components. And next one is sieving process. See, in the sieving there is a shallow vessel will be there which is having the holes at the bottom, through which when we add the flour to that particular vessel, it will passes clearly and the fine flour will be formed, and this is how sieving process will be done. See, next we shall move on to the evaporation and the condensation. See, in the process of evaporation, the liquid is get converted into water vapor. See, this one we call it as a evaporation process. See, in the evaporation, the liquid state is get converted into vapor state. We call it as a evaporation process. See here, temperature is very much necessary. If we raise the temperature, then the evaporation rate will be more or increase. It's a process of conversion of liquid state to vapor state is called as evaporation. See, the process of conversion of liquid state to the vapor state, we call it as a evaporation, whereas the condensation process, the reverse process will be done here. The process of conversion of vapor state to its liquid state is called as condensation. See, the difference between the evaporation and the condensation is there. See, the process of conversion of liquid state to the vapor state, we call it as a condensation process. For example, consider in a beaker is having the water. If we heat the beaker, then the water will also heat up, and later the water molecules will starts to boiling, and afterwards if we again give the heat to the vessel, these water molecules will start boiling and later the evaporation takes place, nothing but the Havi-Avogadro. See, the evaporation takes place and this is known as evaporation. The process of conversion of liquid state to its vapor state, we call it as a evaporation process. And the condensation process, after the evaporated particles of a water, this can be taken and converted into the liquid state using the ice cubes in the metal plate. We can convert it into the condensation process. As I told in the previous class about the giving the example of the kettle. See, in the kettle there is a water will be present. After giving the heat to the kettle, this will start the boiling, and later evaporation process will be takes place. Thereby the air, the water will start boiling, and afterwards water gets evaporated slowly. This evaporated water can be touches to the metal plate which is having the ice cubes here. See, if it touches the vapor of the evaporated water touches to the plate, and thereby it is collected the droplets. When the air, when the hot air touches to the ice cubes, it will form the drops of a water, and later if we put the beaker here, these droplets will fall into that beaker. See, this is how condensation takes place. And see, in the evaporation process, temperature is very much necessary. If we raise the temperature, means evaporation will be takes place more. See, if we remove that heat by giving heat to the vessel, the evaporation rate will also decreases. See, this is how temperature is very much important during the process of evaporation. See, as well as the condensation, when the evaporation rate is more, and the condensation also, the process of condensation is also increases through the air touches to the metal plate which is having the ice cubes, and thereby droplets will be formed. If enormous amount of air is come out and touches to the metal plate, these water droplets will fall onto the another vessel. Thereby the process will start, and that one nothing but the condensation process. See, next we shall move on to the use of more than one methods of separation. See, in the process of use of more than one method of separation, example is salt and water. See, salt we can, once again we can collect from the process of evaporation. And water we can collect it, regain the water will be formed by the process of condensation. See how means, first we take the salt solution. Salt solution is nothing but a solute. Salt is nothing but the solute particle here, and if we add the salt to the water and stir it well with the help of spoon, then it makes the salt solution, it will formed. And this solution, salt solution, if we heat it and later it will start boiling, and thereby followed by the process known as evaporation process will be takes place. And after the complete water will be evaporates, then salt will be left at the bottom of that flask, and this is how salt we again regain the salt from the mixture of a salty water, and thereby water also we collect it from the process of condensation here. See, this is how we can use more than one methods of separation of a constituent substance which are present in the mixture. And one more example for salt, sugar, sand and water. See, in this type of mixture, see this type of mixture we can remove the separate constituent of a substance which are present in the mixture like sugar, sand and the water. We can remove it by the process of sugar. We get it from the process known as evaporation. As I told you many times, see where sugar molecules which are present in the water gets evaporated by the process of evaporation, and there we get sugar particles at the bottom of a flask, and this is how evaporation takes place. Whereas the sand, we get the sand by the process of sedimentation, where it's a settling of the sand particles at the bottom of the flask. We call it as a sedimentation process. See, once again we get the sand from the process known as sedimentation. See, next one is water. We get it from the condensation process. See, this is how more than one methods of separation of a mixture we can done here. See, next we shall move on to the solution. See, what is the meaning of solution? Solution is a nothing but the homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. We call it as a solution. See, for example, salt and water. You may take, instead of salt, sugar also we take. See, salt and water, it is a mixture, and nothing but the salty water we call it as. See, when we say that the solution is formed, means when two or more substances mixed together, and this will makes the solution. See, for example, salt and water is the example of a solution. I will write the definition here. A homogeneous mixture of two or more substances is called as solution. See, solution are of two types. One is saturated solution and another one is unsaturated solution. See, saturated solution are those solutions in which no more solutes can be dissolved. We call it as a saturated solution. The solution in which no more solute can be dissolved is called as saturated solution. A solution in which no more solute can be dissolved at the fixed temperature. See, at the fixed temperature no more solute can be dissolved. See, this is called as a saturated solution. Saturated solution. See, saturated solution are those solutions in which no more solute can be dissolved at the fixed temperature. For example, at a given temperature, see if for example, see if we the temperature is normal, then the solute will be dissolved. If we raise the temperature, then only it will again dissolve it. At normal temperature, no more solute can be dissolved. We call it as a saturated solution. See, for example, I will write here. As I told, salt and water. See, this is the example of a saturated solution. Consider in a beaker in which water, half of the beaker is having the water, around 100 ml of water present in the beaker. 100 ml of water is present in the beaker, and we have to add salt as a solute into the beaker. See, if we add the salt in the beaker, then the salt will act as a solute, whereas the water acts as a solvent because it dissolves the solute, and that's why it is called as universal solvent. Water is also called as universal solvent. See, when we add the salt into the water, then it will dissolve it, and after that again we have to add 1 teaspoon of salt and into the water and try to dissolve it, and like that 2 to 3 trials if we do like that, means at a given temperature, at normal temperature, it will salt particles will settle at the bottom. See, if we stirring it well, then again it will not dissolve in the water, and that process or that solution we call it as a saturated solution. At the given temperature, no more solute can be dissolved, means what? Not disappear completely, and that solution we call it as a saturated solution. See here, there is one activity is there to describe about the saturated solution. See, in this activity, see, activity name is to prepare saturated solution of salt in water. See, this is the name of the activity. See, in which what to do, this activity is, see here, as I told, we take the water in a beaker, around 100 ml of water we have to take in a beaker, and thereby we have to add salt into the beaker, and after that when we add the salt into the water and take the spoon and stir it well. If we stir it well, then the mixture will be formed, that is the salt solution is formed. Then again 1 tablespoon of salt we have to add it to the solution. See, again we stir it, like that the salt is added to the water, the trial will be taken. After that no more solute can be dissolved, nothing but the water is settled at the bottom of the beaker, and this is how the salt will be present, and this we call it as a saturated solution. See, this is how the activity will be done. See, from this activity the result is comes out, and this is nothing but the no more solute can be dissolved at the given temperature. See, this is how the activity to prepare the saturated solution of salt in water. Once again I will tell you, saturated solution are those solution in which no more solute can be dissolved at a fixed temperature. Fixed temperature means at the normal temperature no more solute can be dissolved, and here on the basis of the saturated solution, there is one activity is there, and this activity name is to prepare the saturated solution. See, in this activity we can make the saturated solution of salt and salt in water. Both the mixture we have to take salt, the components and the water we have to take in a beaker. Around 100 ml of water we have to take, and in which we have to add the salt particles. After that, stirring it well, then again 1 tablespoon of salt we have to add to the beaker. Like that the process will be continue. If we take the 2 more trials, after that what will happen, the salt particles will settle at the bottom. See that if we stir it well means it will left as it is, it will not dissolve or disappear in the water, and that solution we call it as a saturated solution. This activity shows that no more solute can be dissolved at the normal temperature. At the fixed temperature no more solute can be dissolved, and this is how this activity will be helpful to understand the concept of saturated solution. See, next we shall move on to the another activity. See, why we take the salt as well as the water and sugar as well as the water means because these are the soluble substance. So that's why we can take these as an example, and insoluble substance like sand and water. Sand in which we have to add added in the water, then insoluble in the water, and that's why we take as a sand or the mud, we take it as a insoluble substance. See, one more activity is there. Activity name is, this is the second activity. Say, to show the effect of heating on saturated solution. See, this activity's name is to show the effect of heating on saturated solution. Heating is nothing but if we raise the temperature. If we raise the temperature, what will happen to the saturated solution? See, as I told you, in saturated process, we have to take the water as well as the salt. See here, to show the heating effect of the saturated solution, we have to take the 100 ml of water here, and sugar we have to add, and again saturation process will be done here. Again and again we add sugar to the water. Then what will happen, if we stirring it well, then the sugar particles will disappear, and later if we add so many much of sugar to the water, then the salt particles will settle at the bottom, and that point we call it as a saturation point, or the saturated solution will be formed. And afterwards the saturated solution will be formed if we raise the temperature, or if we supply the heat to the vessel. If we heat the vessel, then what will happen, the particles of sugar will again disappear. See, this is the activity. See, this activity shows that if we raise the temperature, then solute particles, nothing but the sugar here, and will be dissolved completely. And see, if we raise the temperature, then the saturated solution will be increases more, and the solute particles will dissolve more. And this is how this activity tells us, to show the effect of heating on the saturated solution of the solution. See here, the result of this solution is To increase the temperature result in increasing the solubility. See, if we raise the temperature, increase in temperature, increase in the temperature, then solubility will be increases. See, this is how the second activity tells about. See, once again I will tell you activity, this one, to show the effect of heating on the saturated solution. See, in this activity we have to take the beaker in which we have to add sugar, where 100 ml of water will be present in the beaker. If we raise the temperature or if we heat up the vessel, then water molecules will also heated, and thereby the sugar particles will slowly disappear and dissolve completely, and this is how the saturated solution will be more by using the heat which supplied to the vessel. See, this activity result is the increase in the temperature will increases the solubility. If we raise the temperature means nothing but if we provide much heat to the vessel, then solubility will be increases. See, this is all about the saturated solution. And next we shall move on to the unsaturated solution. See, unsaturated solution are those solution in which more solute can be dissolved at the given temperature. We call it as a unsaturated solution. I will write on the board. See, unsaturated solution are those solution in which more solute can be dissolved, and at a given temperature we call it as a unsaturated solution. So, more solute can be dissolved at the fixed temperature, we call it as a unsaturated solution. The solution in which more solute can be dissolved at fixed temperature. We call it as a unsaturated solution. See the difference between saturated as well as the unsaturated solution. At the given temperature, more solute can be dissolved, whereas at given temperature no more solute can be dissolved. We call it as a saturated solution, where more solute can be dissolved, we call it as a unsaturated solution. See, this is all about the saturated solution and the unsaturated solution. Thank you.